Hello friends, welcome back to a new video and my name is Coriander. Actually, my name is not Coriander, I am Coriander, okay. Now, that's not the topic. The topic is, what are loops and what are the different looping structures? So, for understanding the looping structures, first we have to look to the loops. And for loops, I've found a good definition on Google. So, let's look to it. Okay, this is the definition. Yeah, this is given by Simple-Learn or whatever it is. Loops in Java is a feature used to execute a particular part of the program repeatedly if a given condition evaluates to be true. While all the three type basic functionality remains the same, there is a vast difference in the syntax of how they operate. So, first of all, what does this mean? This means that loops in Java is a feature. And what is a feature? In this case, a feature means you can understand it by a function. Exactly, it is not a function, but for understanding purposes, you can understand it by a function, which does a particular program repeatedly till a given condition proves to be false. Now, if we look into different types of loops, it will be more clear. But before that, we should also look this part. While all three types basic functionality remains the same, there is a vast difference in the syntax and how they operate. And let me tell you the three loops. You can use them interchangeably in most of the cases. Okay, there are only some cases in which you cannot use them interchangeably, or it also matters on the ease of using them. Okay, depends actually. It also depends on the ease of using them. And secondly, uh, the three loops have no difference in the basic functionality. The only difference which they have a lot is in the syntax and how they operate. Now I know that it is a little bit overwhelming, but let's look at the loops and it will be more clear. So first of all, let us look the for loop. Okay, so this is the for statement and it is also called the for loop. So this is the official Java documentation, and I recommend this because it is an ultimate source actually. Most of the sites take data from this and enhance it and make it more ready to be used. But if we use this, it will be more good for us, better for us, whatever it is. I'm making too much grammatical mistakes, but this is a coding channel, so I don't think that should matter. The for statement provides a compact way to iterate over a range of values. Programmers often refer to it as the for loop. Then that's what I said. Because of the way in which it repeatedly loops until a particular condition is satisfied, the general form of the for statement can be expressed as follows. Now this is the syntax of it. Okay. And now let us look at the syntax of for loop. For initialization, termination, increment. Now what is it? And here's the statement. Now, where the statement is written, this part is known as the loop body. Okay, this is the loop body, and these are the conditions actually. Okay, the condition is also important, and the loop body is also important. So, what is written here? When using the version of the for loop for statement, keep in mind that the initialization expression initialize the loop. It's executed once as the loop begins. When the termination expression evaluates to false, the loop terminates. The increment expression is invoked after each iteration through the loop. It is perfectly acceptable for this expression to increment or decrement a value. Okay. Now this is a demo class, and here's the demo method, and not a demo method. It's a main method, and yeah, here is a for loop which will make it more clear. Here the function is trying, not the function, the program is trying to print the counting from 1 to 10. So what it is doing is, here is for a loop in which we have initialized I, and here 1 is the value of I. Then we say that the termination condition is I is less than 11, and here is the increment I every time the loop is iterated, I becomes one more than what it was previously. Okay, it is incremented by 1 each time. So let us do it practically, it will be more clear. So we will write a for loop, yeah, and here we will write for int I. You can choose any other variable also, it is not a problem. And let us give it a value of 0. Here we have to place a semicolon. Okay, semicolon is important here. Then we will say that till a is less than 12. We want to print it till 11. Okay, so we will print it till 12. Then we will state that a is a plus plus, which is the increment operator, unary increment operator, and here we will print sout, which is system.out.println I, sorry, a. We'll click on Control plus S, right click, and we will run this. And what is it doing? It is printing from 0 to 11. Now, how does this work? I explained the statement, I explained the syntax, but there must be still some doubt that how is this going. So let me explain you once again, and then we will move to the next topic, and this time I will explain more thoroughly, so pay attention. For int a equals to 0, the initial value of a is 0. Okay, so the first time we meet a, his value is 0, and the termination condition is given that a should be less than 12. The termination condition is that a should be less than 12. I think there's some problem in this. Yeah, it is now correct. A should be less than 12, and if a is equal to 12, the loop will be terminated at that point. Now here a is incremented by 1 each time. So the next time it will iterate the loop, a's value will be 1. Here you can see first it is 0, then it is 1, and here it is printing the value of a. So the first time the value of a is 0 and it is printing it, which is 0. The second time it is printing the value of a as 1, because the value of a is 1 now. It is incremented by 1. And the process is followed till the value reach to 11. And what happens after 11? When the value is once again incremented by 1, which becomes 12. Now the value of a is 12. A will not be printed because it states that the termination condition states that the value of a should be less than 12, and that is not possible if a equals to 12 and it is also less than 12. Okay, it is a contradiction, so it will not be executed. And I think for loop is pretty clear now, and we should move to while loop and do while loop. Okay, so we will move towards do while loop, and first we should look at while loop. Okay, first we will look at while loop, and again we will go to the official documentation because I think it is pretty good. Back, and here is the while and do while statements. Okay, the while statement continually executes a block of statements while a particular condition is true. Its syntax can be expressed as this. Now what does this mean? It means that while statement takes a condition which is repeatedly true a number of times, and when the condition becomes false, the loop is automatically executed, or we can say break. The loop is no more executed. Okay, the loop is ultimately terminated. Sorry, I was not able to find the correct term. Yeah, but now I found it. The loop is ultimately terminated when it founds the termination statement to be true. And when we say that the termination statement is true, we mean that the statement which was here becomes false. Okay, it will be more clear if we look towards the syntax. And when we look to the syntax, here we have while expression, and here is the statement. It is again the loop body here. Now this much part is a little bit different. We have to give an expression here. Okay. Now let us read this also. The while statement evaluates expression which must return a Boolean value. Okay. Now this is an important sentence. What does it say? It says that the while statement evaluates expression which must return a Boolean value. Now the expression here must return a Boolean value. Now what does Boolean mean here? Boolean means that this expression should either return true or return false. Okay. If the expression evaluates to true, the while loop statement executes the statements in the while block. The while statement continues testing the expression and executing its block until the expression evaluates to false. Using the while statement to print the values from 1 to 10 can be accomplished as in the following while demo program. Now this is the while demo program. But first of all, what is it saying? It is saying that till the expression is true here, till the expression returns true, Boolean true, it will get executed again and again. The while loop will get executed. This, and when I say while loop, I mean the statement. The statement here will get executed again and again for the specific value here. And when at the moment where the expression tends to be true, sorry, becomes false, then the statement will not get executed and the loop will be terminated. And I think it is pretty much clear. Now let us look at the program here. Class while demo. Okay. Public static void main string args. Actually, this is not the part which I should explain. This is something which I have explained earlier. Yeah, this is the part which I have not explained earlier. Here we have initialized count and the value of count is 1. While count is less than 11, here we have the body, the loop body, system.out.println count is, and then here we have count. Okay, count plus plus. Here we again have an increment operator. Okay, so count is always incremented by 1, and uh, this program will only give us the output which we found by the previously for loop, the previous for loop. So how is it doing so? Let us write this program. Let us copy and paste it. Okay, for more clearance, let us copy and paste it in our program. Yeah, IntelliJ IDEA. So int count equals to 1. Okay, the count is initialized and the value is here 1 while count is less than 11. Okay, so I think for doing that thing which we were doing now here, for getting this output we have to assign this a value of 0. Okay, so first of all the count is 0 initially here. Secondly, here we have the expression count is less than 11. Now if you see that count is less than 11 here, because we have the value of count as 0, so this is true and this will get executed, this statement will get executed, so it will print count is, and then it will print plus count which is 0 here. Then the value of count will be incremented by 1, then the value of count will be 1, and then the loop will again be get iterated, and then we will get the value of count as 1, and then it will print count is 1, and it will go on till it is less than 11. Okay, it is less than 11 here, and I think I have to make it 12. Yeah, I have to make it 12. And here you can see that if the value of count becomes 11, it is less than 11, sorry, it is less than 12, and it is the last value which is less than 12 here, because after that it will be incremented by 1 again and it will become 12, and 12 cannot be less than 12. Okay, so if we see, it should print the value from 0 to 12. Now let's see. And yeah, it is giving us the value from 1 to 11. Actually, I said 12 mistakenly. It should print value from 0 to 11. Yeah, and it is executing it perfectly. Now I think the working of while loop is also clear. Explaining it one more time in a brief way. In count equals to 0, we have initialized count, and here the value of count is 0 while count is less than 12. While this statement will be true, it will be executed a number of times till till the expression becomes false. Okay, so this statement will get executed again and again and again till the value of count becomes 12. And when the value of count becomes 12, this expression will be false, and then this will not get executed. Okay, now this was it. Now let us comment this out, and let us comment this also out, so that there is not any confusion. Now we are left with do while loop. Do while loop. Now we will look at the official documentation again, and here we have the official documentation of do while loop. This is the while and do while loop. Yeah, this one is the Java programming language also provides a do while statement which can be expressed as follows. So this is the syntax of do while loop. Here we have do. In do we write the statement, or we can say here we write the loop body. Yeah, we write what is meant to be executed. And while, here we write the expression. After do, here the curly braces end, and then we write while, and then in the while loop we write, sorry, it is not the while loop, here it is the statement, and here we write which expression should it follow, which expression should be true if the loop has to be executed. Okay, the difference between do while and while is that do while evaluates its expression at the bottom of the loop, okay, instead of the top. Therefore the statements within the do block are always executed at least once, as shown in the following do while demo program. Now this is the demo program. Yeah, but uh, this is a question that why do while loop and while loop are different. Okay, why there are two types of loops, what are the difference in between them? So the difference is written here. Okay, the first of all, let us implement this do while loop practically, then I will explain the difference between do while and while. Okay, let us look. This is our do. Here we will write south. I can write here I. Okay, first we will initialize I. Here I will write int I equals to 0, equals to 0, and then here we have to write a while I is less than 12. We'll write it again so that it gives us the same output. Okay, while I is less than 12, and if you see that we have not incremented the value of I by 1, so what will it do? It will do that what it will do is that it will print again and again 0. Okay, because the value is not incremented by 1, and this statement will be true forever, and this will be an infinite loop. Let me show you this. You will see an infinite loop for the first time here, and you can see this loop is not going to end. Okay, it is going down and down, but we don't want this. We will stop it here, and here we will increment the value of I by 1 by using the increment operator. Urinary, not urinary, unary increment operator. Sometimes my tongue also slips and I say stupid things. Okay, yeah, I placed it mistakenly. And yeah, this is what we wanted. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, I think this is also clear, but repeating it one more time as I did in the for and while loop. Here we have initialized I and the value of I is 0. Then we say that do SOUT system.out.println I. We have to print I here. Then we say that increment the value of I by 1. Okay, so now the value of I is not 0. The value of I is 1 here. Okay, then we print, we do not print. Here we use the while I is less than 12. Here we give us expression which is to be followed for executing the statement. So till I is less than 12, the loop will be executed. Once I becomes 12, the loop will be terminated automatically. Okay, so when the value of I becomes 12, the loop is executed there. Now coming to the difference between the while and do while loop, which was written here. The difference between do while and while is that do while evaluates its expression at the bottom of the loop instead of the top. Therefore, the statements within the do block are always executed at least once, as shown in the following do while demo program. Now look at this. Uh, let's do it practically also. Okay, what it is trying to say is that in the do while loop, this expression is looked at the last, as you can see here. The expression is at last, and in the while loop, the expression is here at the first. Here in the do while loop, the expression is at bottom, and here in the while loop, the expression is at top. So it does affect the program. Okay, and how does it affect? It affects that in the do while loop, the expression as it is written in the bottom is executed in the last, and it affects the function of program. The do statement is executed at least once. Okay, so if I say that I write an impossible expression which always returns false, it will execute one time, at least one time. I will write here -1. So according to you, it should execute uh, it should not execute anything because this statement is false. Yeah, but what it will do, let's see. Yeah, it will give us the value 0 because the value of I is 0 here. And when it will see that this value, this expression is false, it will terminate the loop. So this much part will always be executed. This will be executed at least one time. Okay, which is the first time here. Now if we talk about the while loop, commenting it out, selecting it, commenting it. What is the scene with while loop? Okay, now the while loop is not creating a scene, but it says that, bro, I'm not going to execute the statement at least one time. Sorry, uh, it will not execute a statement, not even at least one time, if the statement, if the expression here is false. Okay, so if I say that count is less than -1, it will not give an error, but it will not give the output either. Here you can see there is no output. It says that this statement is false and this loop is not executed, it is terminated at once. It will not give us that count is plus count. Okay, and that is the basic difference between the two. Now it is not the case that you cannot use one in place of other, but there are some things, or we can say some situations in which one is better than other to use. And I hope you understood all the things, and if you understood, I'm very happy to teach you. And thanks for this video, coming here and watching this video. And yeah, I have to uh, tell you one thing, that in the next video we will study about conditionals. Okay, let me give you an idea of what are conditionals. Conditionals are if, else if in Java. Okay, when we talk about other languages, there are another things also, but most of the things remain same. We will study conditionals in the next class, and